All right, so can you guys see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So for the chapter one, we'll discuss about, of course, the introduction, and then the very main topic is, or the very main title of this uh, presentation is everything is connected. Okay. So everything is connected. So let's just have some facts bago tayo mag-start. So 7.4, there are 7.4 billion people on the planet. So hindi ko lang alam kung ilan na ngayon. Siyempre, of course, may nadagdagan naman tayo. And then 30 billion devices connected to the internet by 2020. So as of now, meron na tayong 30 billion devices na nakakonect sa internet. So imagine, 7.4 billion yung tao. And then of course, lahat ng taong yan is, uh, yung iba walang gamit na devices. Siyempre, baby pa lang. Yung iba naman, sobrang tanda na. Siyempre, hindi nila nabutan yung age or era of technology. So, yung iba walang gamit. And then, imagine, 30 billion yung meron dyan. So, karamihan dyan, of course, mga teenager or maybe at the age of 5 and above is gumagamit ng device. And then, 6.58 average number of connected devices per consumer in 2020. So, kung papansin niyo 6.58 average number yung gamit ng isang tao. So, meron siya, let's say, 6 or 7 devices. So, pwedeng meron siyang smart watch, a cellphone, smartphone, a laptop, a desktop. What else? Ano pa yung mga devices na ginagamit natin? Well, in my case, ang gamit ko lang is dalawa lang naman. My laptop and my smartphone. So actually, dalawa lang nakakonect dun sa internet. How about you guys? Baka meron sa inyo yung may mga smartwatch,
Phone and computer lang, sir.
phone and computer lang din. So I think para-parehas or minimum of 2 at least as of now sa mga tao ngayon. Isang cellphone and then pwedeng tatlo. May laptop din siya or meron din siyang desktop. Okay? And then 44% of children under the age of 1 use smart devices. So 44% ng mga bata at the age of 1. So meron yung iba 9. Not sure kung paano to. Yung iba 9 months pa lang, 10 months pa lang. Or siguro at the age of exactly 1 or basta yun, pababa 1 is gumagamit na ng cellphone. So ako nag-start ako gumamit ng cellphone at the age of 12 yata or 13 kasi high school na ako dati. So imagine nowadays gumagamit na sila ng mga smart devices. I don't know kung anong smart device yung gamit nila. And then 1.4 million numbers of peacemakers is used by 2023. Okay. And then 15 million Fitbit exercise monitors sold 2017. And then 20 billion euros to be spent on artificial intelligence by the Europe by 2020. Okay, so imagine ang dami nating devices. So, like ito, Fitbit for exercise. Hindi ko lang alam kung ano yung magamit nila kasi maraming klase. Yung iba nilalagay lang sa braso, yung iba naman smartwatch combined with yun, smart features about exercise. Yung pwede nyo nang ma-measure yung ilan yung hinakba mo, ilang kilometers na travel mo, and so on and so forth. Okay? So, para mas maintindihan mo yung sarili mo, kinuha ko to mismo sa Cisco, which is habang naghahanap kasi ako ng mga module na pwedeng i-discuss sa inyo. Okay, nakita ko to. So, lab number 0. So, I name it number 0 kasi parang survey lang naman talaga siya. Hindi naman kailangan mag-aral ka. So, how connected are you? So, it is important to understand that most people born since the 1990s, so kayo yon or tayo, okay, will have grown up in a primarily digital world. So this survey will help you to recognize how much of the day is actually spent connected. So this will help us to see the impact this generation will have on business and the economy. So we have here the link. So I would like you guys to makapy. So share ko lang sa chat. So, eto, puntahan nyo to mismo. So, So kung cellphone yung gamit mo, okay lang din, pero dapat makuha mo yung result. So what do I mean by result? Kagaya nito. So, oops, wala pala dito yung sample yata. Wala dito. Okay, so dapat 'pag nasagutan niyo na yung survey, i-screenshot niyo yung pinaka-last, okey? Kasi yun yung, isa-submit niyo dito sa, or sa canvas natin or dito sa laboratory number 0, okey? So, pakisagot na ngayon, mas magandang ngayon na para 'di bale saglit lang yun, 1 to 2 minutes lang yun or 1 to 3 minutes. So, sinong sumasagot na ngayon? Sinend ko sa chat, box yung link. Clinic mo yan.
Yung last part lang, sir.
Yung last part lang na A, B, C, D, E, yeah, tama, ko lang.
Sige, sir.
Oo nga 'no. So nga pala, hindi nga pala hindi nga lang pala kayo, kung kayo lang malalaman niyo na kaagad. Pero ang requirements pala dito is 3 or 4 people. Okey, so mamaya niyo na lang gawin, mamaya niyo na lang gawin. Okey, na-open niyo na ba? Kung nakita niyo man meron siyang parang sample, PowerPoint. Okay, so puwede niyong unang-una kayo of course and then yung mama at papa niyo and then kung may mga kapatid kayo, okay. So puwede niyo rin palitan yung mga tasks or puwede niyong dagdagan yung task kung ano man yung ginagawa nila. Well, of course, lahat naman siguro nagfe-Facebook, ah, talking or calling, texting, Twitter, hindi ko lang sure kung may Twitter yung iba, tracking exercise, and then online banking. And then lagyan niyo lang dun yung summation of total time in hours. Pakita ko na nga lang. Ayan. So kita niyo 'tong nasa screen ko?
Yes, sir.
So ganito yung makukuha nyo kapag, dinownload nyo yun. So puwedeng i-rekta nyo na lang sa Microsoft Word, eto mismo, and then create lang kayo ng table, okay. And then yung person 1, person 2, and then person 3 or hanggang person 4. And then, sagutan niyo lang 'tong mga 'to, A, B, C, D, hanggang E pala. So iba pala yung tinutukoy ko, sorry. Yung tinutukoy ko na saglit niyo lang sasagutan, this is what, determine your generation. So, i-leave muna natin yon, itong laboratory number 0. So, sagutan nyo na lang to after our lecture. So, pwedeng bukas or pwedeng mamaya after nito. Okay? So, determine your generation. So, determine your connected generation by taking this fun survey that was created by Price Waterhouse Coopers. Okay? So, we have here a link. So all you need to do is copy this one and then paste it to your browser or pwede nyo yatang i-click na to mismo. Pero hindi nyo pa makiklik syempre kasi wala pa kayong copy netong presentation ko. So, sinend ko siya sa chat box natin. So I would like you guys to click that one. So pagka-click nyo, ganito yung magpapakita. And start tool. And then, gusto kong i-click yung start tool and then start answering some of the questions. So, it will only take 2 to 3 minutes. At yung sinasabi kong 2 to 3 minutes, itong lab 0 is iba pala. So, abutin kayo dito na maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour. So, ito pwede nating sagutan ngayon din. So, after nyong sagutan, okay, after nyong sagutan lahat-lahat, ito yung parang magiging result. So, in my case, you are generation B. So, beaten but still blah, 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 and so on and so forth. So, yeah, just take a screenshot of that one or on that one. And then, yun. Yan na yun, as it is. Yun yung isasend nyo sa Canvas later on kapag pinablish ko na yung itong topic, activity na to. Okay. Hindi naman siya laboratory. Activity lang. So let me know if you guys are already done. May nakatapos na ba sa inyo or wala pa?
Tapos na, sir.
Alright, so anong generation ka, Mr. Nico?
Generation B, sir.
B?
Yep.
So anong sabi dyan? May description yun sa babae. I just would
Hindi
like
naman siya, di naman siya ganun ka-accurate naman.
Di
I
ba ganun
wouldn't say
ka-accurate?
I'm digitally shy.
Yeah, same with me. So, ito yung result sa akin. So, hindi naman siya ganun accurate, pero fun survey lang. Wala pa ako ibang nahanap na survey, pero sabi ko, seems interesting. So, why not? Try natin, baka accurate sa inyo. So, sa akin, yun na nga. So, medyo same tayo ng parang naiisip, wherein, in my case, hindi naman ako digitally shy. Hindi naman ako ganun ka, maybe, 70%. Shy ako, pero hindi naman. How about the others? Are you guys already done? Mr. Carino, Mr. Dumagat, Mr. Kagiwa, Mr. Romero, Mr. Tuazon, Miss Rio, Mr. Jairus, and then Mr. Barasi. So same with Miss or Mr. Carino.
Mister yan.
Mr. ba yan? Para meron akong stunting Miss Carino. And then for Carl Steven Tuazon, so Gen Z daw siya. Why? Let's see. So, pwede mo bang i-share kung ano yung laman, anong description, anong sabi dyan? You can use your mic para hindi ka na mag-type. Pero I'm not sure kung hindi working yung mic mo. Oy, bilis mag-type or ng happy piece. You are clearly a paid-up member of Generation Connected. A digital native that is with and unafraid of the power of connectivity. We've written a treatise about you and the effect you are having on the business world. All right. So, is it true? You're clearly a paid-up member of Generation Connected. So, anong masasabi mo, Mr. Carl? Is it correct? Tama ba yung parang lumabas na judgment sa'yo nung survey? Quite. Medyo. Parang ganun. Alright. So, hindi ko na mahihintay yung iba. So, I hope tapos na rin kayo. And then, just take a screenshot of that one. And then, yun. Save nyo lang muna siya for now. And then, yun yung isasend nyo dun sa Canvas. Okay? So, moving on. I have a question. Can smart devices think? So, what do you guys think? Can smart devices think?
Yes.
So, Mr. Nico said, yes. In what way? Opinion lang or
It
guess?
has to calculate actions and processes like any computer.
Mm-hmm. So how about the others? Do you guys think that can a smart devices think? So sabi ni Mr. Carl, no, I guess. Hindi siya sigurado. Yes, you are right. So eto medyo kanto, 50-50. So pwedeng 15 hindi, pwedeng 15 oo. Pero malapit na tayo. Nasa I think 70% na tayo para makamit yung like 100% working AI. Okay? So, same din siya sa tao wherein if you program kasi parang prinogram tayo ng magulang natin, eh. Prinogram tayo ng magulang natin na, "Ito dapat ang gawin mo, ito dapat gawin, mo 'pag ganito, ganyan, ganyan." Sa robot gano'n din of course, pinoprogram din natin siya. So, we only have one condition para masabi nating yes. Yes, smart devices can think if they are programmed appropriately or accordingly with that certain of situation. Like for example, of course, kapag yung ano ba maganda, let's say a smart car, okay? So hindi naman siya nagti-think actually or pina-process niya lang kasi naka-program siya. Kung ano yung naka-program sa kanya, then yun yung papaganahin niya. Let's say, yung una niyang na-find out na way is eto. And then yung pangalawang way is ito. And then pangatlong way is ito. So basically, pinogram natin siya para hanapin yung shortest way para mas matipid sa gasolina or mas lesser yung traffic. So in that way, nag-iisip siya. Okay? So same din siya ng tao. Kung papansinin nyo, meron tayong tatlong possible ways. Iisipin din natin kung ano yung shortest way. Okay? Kasi yun yung sa tingin natin is mas maganda or mas tama. So same lang din sa robot or kung anong system man yan. Kasi yun yung sa tingin niyang tama or mas madali. Okay? So depende yun sa program. Alright. So, all digital devices work based on computer programs and supplied data. Okay? So, lahat naman yan para masabi nating may ipaprocess siya or para makapag-isip siya, kailangan natin ng data or kailangan ng system ng data. So, again, ang sabi ko, artificial intelligence implies that these devices are able to think on their own. Okay? If program appropriately. So, ito yung pinaka-condition natin. So, pag di naman siya talaga na-program para sa bagay na yan, then he cannot think on that thing or on that situation. So, smart devices are able to evaluate data that is provided to them and modify process or settings on the fly. Okay? Kaya nga tayo merong 5G. Actually, parating na yung 6G na naman. So, malapit-lapit na naman yun. So, yun na nga. Dati, may delay lahat ng bagay. So, dati pwede ka lang mag-send ng picture, pwede ka lang mag-stream ng video at resolution of 360p or 720p. Ngayon, pwede ng 1080p, 2K, or even 4K, or even 8K. Okay? So, ngayon, sobrang halaga nung network connection para masabi nating on the fly. Okay? While it's on the process, parang yun na siya, ginagawa niya na rin kaagad. Hindi na siya ganun katagal mag-isip. Baka nga dumating pa yung time na mas mabilis na isip yung let's say yung computer kagaya ng calculator. This is one good example. A calculator, of course, maraming tao okay ang talo ng calculator. Okay, meron ng ibang tao yung sobrang genius, mas mabilis pa sa calculator. Okay. So this is one good program or one good example um, para mag-solve ng mga numbers and so forth. So if they are provided sufficient data, okay, yun nga lang, of course, hindi siya gagana kapag hindi sufficient yung data. Okay, kaya sabi dito. So they can learn and modify their own code based on the new parameters. Okay, so one example of that one is a refrigerated transport truck. Okay, So this one is getting a frozen goods that is equipped with a global positioning sensor. So one more thing, para masabi natin nag-iisip talaga tong computer na to or itong program to or itong system na to is meron silang sensor. Okay? So they must sense something. Okay? So pwedeng temperature, pwedeng weight, pwedeng global positioning sensor, and so on and so forth. So lahat yon kumukuha ng data. Okay? And then ipaprocess yun dun sa program kung ano man yung ginawa mo doon. And then, anong gagawin niya kapag ito yung nakuha niyang data? Or anong gagawin niya kapag nakuha niyang data and so on and so forth. So, depende sa data na nakuha niya. Okay, so dito sa track na to, as the track drives into a major city, the sensor determines that there is an accident ahead that is causing major traffic congestion. Okay, so the sensor sends the data to the computer systems that collects the data and makes decisions. So dito, yun na nga, gaya ng sabi ko, yung sensor will send a data to your computer and then ipaprocess niya yun and then gagawa na siya ng decision. So depende sa program na ginawa mo. So the system then alerts the driver to the new condition so that the accident can be bypassed. So this automatic interaction has saved the driver time and will get the transported product the market faster with a product that is still frozen. So, ayan, that is one good example for our, so-called artificial intelligence. Soon, lapit-lapit na daw. So, yun. Uh, marami lang siyang, or it contains a lot of sensors. Okay? So, sensor and then yung algorithm na gagamitin mo to make a good decision or to make a correct decision. Okay? Another one is corporate offices. So this can be occupied by thousands of employees. So keeping the environment such as lighting, heat, humidity in the building within acceptable parameters helps to keep employees happy and therefore more productive. So again, hindi naman talaga siya fully nag-iisip. Actually, napakasimple ng task niya. So again, all you need to have is a sensor. So a temperature sensor or yung light sensor for the light. And then yung humidity sensor. So para naman sa yun, humidity ng air. So yun, tatlong sensor yung gamit niya para, let's say, uh, mabalance. Let's say, kapag sobrang init, papalamigin niya. Kapag sobrang lamig, papainitin niya. Okay? Kapag madilim, papaliwanagin niya. Okay? So in that way, magiging maganda yung, let's say, flow of work kasi nga hindi nila iniisip yung environment. So sobrang ganda ng environment nila, sobrang ganda ng lighting, ng temperature, and so on and so forth. Okay? And then for smart cities, such as Barcelona, Spain, use sensors to control many of their infrastructure systems, such as traffic flow, parking, water utilization, and hydro. Okay? So one example of this one in smart cities is weight sensors. So kung papansin niyo, para lang masabi nating ano man tawag dito, fully functional yung isang robot or yung isang AI is kailangan niya ng sensor sa lahat ng bagay-bagay. Kung iisipin nyo, yung robot kailangan niya rin ng mata, kailangan niya ng tenga for the sound, kailangan niya ng ilong, though yun yung pinakamahirap, yung ilong. Okay, kasi hindi ko alam paano nila gagawin yun. And then yung sa taste, mahirap din yun. And then sa touch, so madali lang din yun, madaling gawin ng sensor. So basically, parang i-imitate lang natin yung isang bagay, let's say yun, yung tao, para maging katulad niya yun. Okay, dapat same response sila, let's say, yung nasaktan na siya at that point, so dapat mag-aaray na rin yung robot. So magre-respond na rin siya na, aray, nasaktan siya. Okay, so parang ganon. So punong-puno ng sensor, napakaraming sensor para masabi nating fully thinking yung isang robot or that robot can act as a human being. Okay? So again, weight sensors in parking spaces allow drivers to quickly know where there is an available parking spot. So this reduces driving and idling time for the driver and lowers carbon emission for the environment. Okay, so good thing to know. Weight sensor. Yung iba naman, ang gamit nila is parang obstacle sensor. Pero hindi nga lang siya gano'n ka-reliable. So mas or actually pinaka-reliable tong weight sensor. Okay, kasi kapag mabigat na dun sa part na yun, ibig sabihin may naka-part na yun. Maliban na lang kapag maraming tao na nakatayo dun sa slot na yun or spot na yun. Okay? Alright. So, last one for these smart devices, self-driving cars. So, nasabi ko na to kanina. Ito yung mga modern na actually implemented na ngayon. Marami ng ganito ngayon na gawa ng Tesla. So, Tesla yung isa sa mga pinakauna eh. And then, yung iba naman, yun, Mercedes-Benz, yung iba Volvo, and so on and so forth. So, self-driving cars are revolutionizing transportation. So, the cars are equipped with many ultrasound sensors. So, again, sensor ulit. Sensor, camera sensor, precision GPS, and then computers, of course, kailangan yan. So, the combination of the onboard equipment allows the computers to identify and other cars, lanes, pedestrians, and obstructions. Okay, so kapag meron ka na itong sensor na to, madidetect mo tong mga yan. Cars, lanes, and so on and so forth. So this information allows the car to stay in its lane, stop when required, and weave around obstructions. Okay? So some of the manufacturers in the autonomous cars, ito yung mga company na gumagawa ng mga ganitong technology. Tesla, General Motors, Volvo, Mercedes-Benz, and corporations as Waymo, Google's sibling, and Uber are also designing testing technology. So, yung iba on the way pa lang. Pero ito na yung mga nakagawa na. Okay? Alright. So, do you guys have a question so far hanggang dito?
No, sir.
Alright. So, another new topic will be, okay? Somewhat yes, but it's based on logical yes or no situations. Yes, so this is a good answer from Mr. Carino. Okay. So, yeah, based on logical program, okay, ng computer natin. So, yeah. Alright. So, let me introduce to you the packet tracer. Okay? So, sir, anong connection ng packet tracer sa IoT? Kasi, di ba, pag sinabi nating IoT or Internet of Things, ano ba yung nagko-connect sa atin sa internet? Of course, router. Ba? So, kailangan muna natin malaman kung paano ba, hindi naman kailangan talagang fully malaman. Bibigyan ko lang kayo ng parang idea. Or kung may idea man kayo, then that's good. Okay? Ang idea kung paano ba dumadaan yung tawag dito, yung signal natin or yung internet natin mula dito sa laptop, papunta dun sa router, and then papunta dun sa tower, and then papunta na dun sa server mismo, okay? Or dun sa ISP provider natin. Okay? So, I would like you guys to go on this link. So, I hope lahat kayo nakaharap sa computer, no? Para, ayun, ma-install nyo na kaagad-agad ngayon din. Or kung may cellphone man, then after na lang nito kasi mamaya ko pa i-upload itong module na to. So, yeah. Punta lang kayo sa link na to and then mapupunta kayo dito sa www.netacad.com. So, ang gawin nyo, gawa kayo ng account nyo. Di ba, free lang naman siya. Okay? And then, yun. Follow nyo lang yung steps na to. So, click the link above, then choose the OS you're using and download the relevant files. Okay? So, magpapakita dun sa, ito actually step by step. So, yung step by step natin. Yeah, ito. So, naka-indicate dito yung step by step. So, login kayo. And then, after nyo makapag-login, select resources. And then, select download packet tracer. Okay? So, just take note that you must know the correct operating system. So, kung Windows ka, Windows dapat. Kung Linux, Linux. Kung Mac, Mac din. Then, mahati pa sa dalawa kapag Windows. So, pwedeng 32-bit or 64-bit. So, alamin nyo muna yung mga yan.
Sir, pwedeng gamitin yung account na ginamit namin for CPNet?
Not sure. Pero try nyo, kung may account na kayo sa NetAcad dati, try nyo i-login mismo yon. Try nyo i-login mismo yon, and then yun, yun yung gamitin nyo. Ang mahalaga lang naman is makapag-login kayo para makapasok kayo sa resources. Kasi hindi kayo makapunta sa resources, hindi nyo matadownload yung packet tracer installer kung wala kayong account.
Sige, sir. Pero naka-install na yung packet tracer kasi ginamit namin to for CPNet eh.
I see. That's good. So yeah, kung meron na yan, then you're good to go. Okay? So after yung ma-download yan, so ito lang naman yung sa mga ibang introduction sa packet tracer. Pero hindi ko na i-discuss lahat. Kung papansinin nyo, hinighlight ko lang ito. So build their skills for jobs in the Internet of Things. So yun, sa CPNet, siya yung magdi-discuss mismo, yung subject na yun yung magdi-discuss yung fully function ng packet tracer. Pero ito is pahapyaw lang actually kasi kailangan or connected siya dun sa IoT kung paano niya i-connect yung smart devices nyo and so on and so forth. Okay? Alright, so yung mga hindi pa nakapag-download or wala pa sa kanila, so mandito naman yung steps. So i-upload ko mamaya para ma-download nyo to. Punta lang kayo sa link na to, mag-login lang kayo, and then go to resources, and then download the appropriate installer for your computer. Okay? So once you're done with that, we have here the laboratory number 1, deploying and cabling devices. Okay? Right, so since packet tracer simulates networks and network traffic, the physical aspects of these networks also need to be simulated. So this includes actually finding and deploying physical devices, customizing those devices, and cabling those devices. Okay, so finding, deploying, customizing, and then cabling those certain devices. So after the physical deployment and cabling is done, then it is time for the configuration of interfaces used to connect the devices. Okay, so we have a certain task here. Finding a device deployed requires looking in the device type selection box. So the device type selection box works on the concept categories and subcategories as shown in the figure. Yan. Yan yung figure nandun na nakuha ko, pero yeah. And then the top row of icons represents the category list consisting of network devices, end devices, components, connections, miscellaneous, and then multi-user. So itong mga to, sa kanyo lang mahanap or makikita to kapag inopen nyo na yung packet tracer mismo. So, meron tayong dalawang link dito. Okay? So, download nyo lang to. Okay? So, nandito yung instruction mismo ng laboratory number 1. Download that. And then, yung kakailanganin yung PKA file. Right? So, hello again. So, I think nandito na lahat. Ilan kayo kanina? Huwag na kasi na-monitor. Alam ko 9. So, it's a good thing na naging 10. 10 ba kayo kanina or 10 ba tayo lahat kanina? Alright, so sabi ni Mr. Kagiwa, so 10 din daw tayo kanina, so that's a good thing. Kompleto yata lahat. Right? Alright, so from here, download nyo lang tong instruction na to. Okay. So, wait lang. Ano ba? Copy link. So, may chat box. Papakita. Chat. Job page. Kasan yung chat? Wait lang ha. Ayan. There you go. So, punta lang kayo dito sa link na to and then ida-download nyo mismo yung instruction. Okay, so galing din to sa NetAcad or sa Cisco. Hindi ko lang sure kung nasagutan nyo na to dati. Pero I hope hindi kasi para bago naman. So I would like you guys to check on that one. And then pag na-download nyo na yan, ganito yung magpapakita. Ito. Yan. Okay. So the topic for this one is deploying and cabling devices. So nandito yung objectives, yung background scenario, and then yung mga steps na gagawin nyo. Okay? So meron pang pangalawang file, okay? Which is ito, packet tracer, PKA, chat. Yung chat natin ulit nawala. Nawala yung chat. Pakita. Yan. So ito yung pangalawang file na kailangan nyo i-download, which is yung PKT file. So import nyo lang yon mismo. So, yung isa. Import nyo lang yun mismo sa packet tracer nyo kung sakali na-install nyo na. Okay? So pagka-install nyo, ito yung magpapakita kapag na-import nyo yun. Okay? We have PC0 hanggang PC5, and then we have 2 switches. Alright? So once you're done with that one, step 2, learn how to deploy devices and cable them in packet tracer. So the first task in this activity is to practice using device type selection box. So ito yung mga device type natin. Okay? So yan, may mga category yan. So pagka clinic mo to, itong router na to, marami pang klase ng router dito. Pag clinic mo to, marami pang klase ng switches dito. And so on and so forth. And then for PC, marami din. Okay? So ito yung example lang sinasabi ko kanina. Marami siyang iba't ibang klase. We have a generic, 1240, 2811, and so on and so forth. So, ano pa ba ang importante? So yeah, actually you only need 2 components. So hanap lang kayo ng switch, okay? And then I think nandito yung switch na ito 2960 specifically, okay? Ito yung kailangan nyo ilagay doon, 2960 na dalawa. So kung papansinin niyo, para lang siyang text kanina, okay? So dito niyo ilalagay yung first switch and then yung second switch. And then hanap lang kayo ng computer and then PCPP yata yon. Kung ayan, yeah. PCPP, yung pinaka-model ng PC na ilalagay nyo. So, ilagay nyo lang din siya dito. PC0 hanggang PC5. And then once you're done with that, proceed to the cabling. So, yung pag-cable natin, is gagamit kayo ng copper straight through. Okay? Copper straight through from PC to switch, yata yun, or switch to PC. So, recall nyo na lang dito or balikan nyo na lang dito. Okay, hindi ko maalala. And then, ito yung configuration natin. So, PC1 is connected to switch 0. PC2 is connected to switch 0. And then for PC3 and 4, connected naman siya sa switch 1. What else? And then PC1, PC0, 1, 2. Yun nakalagay dito. Pero PC0, 1, 2 is connected to switch 0. And then PC3 and 5 is connected to switch 1. Okay? Gamit ang copper straight through. And then, kailangan nyo ng copper. Yan, copper crossover cable. So, yun naman na yung magiging connection nyo between those 2 switches. Okay? So, pag nagawa nyo na to, just save that file. Okay? And then, hanapin nyo lang yung file na yon, and then yun yung isubmit nyo dun sa Canvas mismo. Or, kung ano kaya? Sige, para mas mabilis, screenshot na lang. Okay, para kita ko kaagad. Take a screenshot of your packet tracer na laman ito mismo. Okay? Just make sure lang na ginawa nyo talaga. Okay? Kasi there is no way na malaman ko kung kayo ba talaga yung gumawa. Kasi pwedeng screenshot to mula sa kaklase nyo. Okay? So, dapat gawin nyo kasi sobrang dali lang neto. Nandito naman na lahat instruction. Sinaglit-saglit ko lang para alam niyo yung gagawin niyo sa task na to. Okay? So, yeah. composed of four components: a PCPT, switch, uh, straight through, copper straight through cable, and then copper crossover cable. Cable, yeah, for this connection. Okay. So do you guys have a clarification so far?
Sir,
Yes?
'di gumagana yung link.
Hindi ko magana yung link ng may error. Wait lang, try ko. No, this XML file does not appear to have any style version. Alright, so mamaya na lang. I-try kong, pero pwede naman. Check ko. Wait lang. Ngayon ko na i-check. Baka hindi rin gumagana to. Okay. Meron sa akin. So, I think may mali lang sa pag-copy ko ng link. Copy link. Supposedly. Ano naman yun? Anyway, so mamaya nyo na lang tignan kapag na-upload ko na to sa Facebook page natin or sa Canvas. Okay? So, just take note na ito yung instruction and then ito yung PKA file or ito yung parang pagtitracean nyo mismo. Yung mga text na nakalagay doon. Alright. So, for now, iiwanan ko rin sa inyo kapag may question or clarification kayo, so you can message me anytime to my Facebook. Okay? So, any other concern? Maliban sa dalawang link na to.
Wala naman, sir.
Alright. So, next one is networking is the foundation. Okay? Kung walang networking, wala tayong connection yun. Okay? Right, so another fun fact is 30 billion things provide trillions of gigabytes of data. Okay, so of course, maraming possibilities on those things. That's why we create as trillions as gigabytes of data. So how can they work together to enhance our decision making and improve our lives and our businesses? So enabling these connections are the networks that we use daily. Okay, so these networks provide the foundation for the internet and the digitized world. So the methods that we use to communicate continue to evolve, whereas we were once limited by cables and plugs. Breakthroughs in wireless and digital technologies have significantly extended the reach of our communication. So yeah, this is very accurate. Wherein before, yun na nga, nag-umpisa muna tayo sa letter. Kung let's say sa ibang bansa to another bansa. So para magkausap sila, letter to letter, tapos hintay mo pa a month, a week. Okay, so sobrang tagal. And then, na-invento na yung, I don't know, maybe wired call connection. So hindi pa siya totally wireless, hindi pa siya signal, gumagamit pa rin ng wire. So sobrang haba ng wire. And then after nun, nagawa na nila yung, yun, wireless na siya. So through signal na siya ta-transport ng data. Okay? And then hanggang sa, yun, pabilis na ng pabilis or palaki na ng palaki yung data na pwede natin i-transfer. So before, tawag-tawag lang. Ngayon, pwede ng live call. Okay? Kasama na yung pati muka. Okay? So gaya ng ginagawa natin ngayon. So without the network, without the internet, this one is not possible. Okay? So networks form the foundation of the digitized world. So networks came in all sizes. So pwedeng simple network lang siya from one device to another device, or pwedeng connecting one device into a million of networks, okay, or a million of devices. So simple networks in homes enable connectivity to the internet. So they also enable the sharing of resources such as printers, music between a few local computers. So hindi ko alam kung naabutan niyo yung cellphone na kailangan yung pagdikitin. Naabutan ko yun dati, nung high school ako. Meron yung mga ibang cellphone ng kaklase ko na mga mayayaman So, let's say nagpapasa sila ng picture, kailangan magkadikit. Ano ang tawag do'n? Infrared yata 'yun. After nun is Bluetooth na. Naabutan kong talaga is yung Bluetooth. And meron yung before, yung mas maiksi pa sa Bluetooth, is yun, pinagdidikit nila yung dalawang phone. And then, until now, yung printers pa rin naman natin is meron pa rin yung wire. Pero yung iba na, yung mga newest technology when it comes to printers is wireless na sila. Okay, so yeah, pwede na siya via Wi-Fi or via maybe Bluetooth. Okay? And then yun, pwede mo na rin i-share yung documents mo. So before, kailangan mo rin ng LAN cable. And ngayon, possible na siya via WLAN or yung Wi-Fi. Okay? So pwede mo magpasa ng documents, pictures, and then music between a few local computers. Okay? So in businesses and large organizations, networks can provide products and services to customers through their connection to the internet. So networks can also be used on an even broader scale to provide consolidation, storage, and access to information on network servers. So again, network allow for email, instant messaging. So ito na yung itong generation natin ngayon. So instant na lahat, actually mabilis na. Okay? And collaboration among employees, which is ito via Zoom. So lalo na't pandemic. Okay? In addition, the network enables connectivity to new places, giving machines more value in industrial environments. Okay? So again, the internet is the largest network in existence and effectively provides electronic skin. So ito yung tinatawag nating electronic skin. Okay. So kung dati sa PCB, ito lang yung pwede nyo pag travel ng data. Pero ngayon, with the use of internet, so pwede from this PCB to another PCB with the use of Wi-Fi connection. Okay? So in fact, the term internet means network of networks. Via signal na siya or via waves, hindi na siya via wire. So the internet is literally a connection of interconnected private and public networks. So businesses, small office networks, and home networks connect to the internet. So actually lahat. Sino may smart devices that can or that has the capability to connect to the internet or that certain network, then possible. Okay. So by having this one network is a foundation. Of course, we have different kind of network or network types. So the first one is the personal area network or the PAN. So I know that most of you already know this one kasi na-discuss nyo na to for sure sa CPNet. Pero ulitin lang natin. So modern networks can be a bit confusing. Okay? So there are many types that are characterized by their geographic size, by the number of devices or networks that they connect, and by whether they support mobile device or not. So networks can also be characterized by their function and purpose. Okay? So yeah, the very smaller, like pinaka-smallest actually, pinaka-smallest connection or network is yung PAN na tinatawag natin or yung personal area network. Okay? So personal area networks are small networks where connected wireless devices are within personal reach. So when we say personal reach, you can look at the figure one. Okay? So one good example of that one is yung headphone mo o ano pa ba? Meron pa yung isa yung mug wherein connected na rin siya sa Bluetooth wherein makakontrol na rin siya sa smartphone mo. So that is one or that is another example. Or yung car mo, okay? Or yung phone mo, pwede mo i-connect dun sa car mo para papatugtog ka and so on and so forth kung ano ba man yung mga pwede mong gawin. Okay? So connecting smartphone to your car using Bluetooth is an example of PAN. Okay? Like when you say PAN, it is within the reach of your hand. So malapit lang, sobrang lapit. Okay? So the next one is local area network. So ito na yung pinaka-familiar. Okay? Ito na yung ginagamit talaga ng karamihan. So LANs are typically networks in a small or local geographic area. Okay? So yun, pinaka-maliit nito is sa bahay, of course. Lahat naman siguro tayo ngayon or kayo is merong Wi-Fi. Okay? Hindi ko lang sure kung merong meron sa computer shop sa inyo ngayon. Pero that is still a LAN connection. Okay? So mapa-home, mapa-small business or department within the large corporation. So you have here the figure 2. And then we have red indicator. So yellow for the LAN and then violet for the WAN. So kung mapapansin niyo yung LAN natin is ito. Let's say sa isang business and then another, let's say, bahay ng kaibigan ko. And then, sa home office, let's say home office ko kung sakali. So lahat yan magkakahiwalay, okay? Maybe 10 meters away with each other. And then kapag kinonect mo silang tatlo, okay? So yeah, ito. Pag kumonect na sila sa isa't isa, hindi na sila, of course, LAN to LAN, still LAN. Pero kapag with the use of internet na, ang tawag na natin doon is WAN connection. Okay? Or wider area network. So yeah, talking about wider area networks or wide area networks is this one. So the term WAN typically refers to a collection of LANs that provides interLAN and internet connectivity for businesses and governments. So gamit na gamit to sa government since of course sobrang lalaki ng building and then lahat sila magka-connect or meron sila lahat sila is magkakaiba ng local area network. And then let's say gusto mong connect sa another LAN. So yung connection na nagaganap doon is wide area network already or WAN. Okay? And then talking about internet, so the internet is a multi-layer global network systems that connects hundreds of millions of computers. For example, in figure 3. Okay? So worldwide na to. Okay? Actually, pwede na natin matawag na WAN. Okay? Itong ganitong connection. Okay? Wherein the bigger name of WAN is internet na actually. Kasi ang nagko-connect na doon is internet. Unlike dun sa LAN, pwedeng walang internet. Okay? Kasi let's say, ito is connected sa PC ko and then connected kami sa isang local area network from the word local, locally lang. Pero kapag WAN, with the use of internet na. Okay? So the internet is not owned by one person or organization. So this large system is comprised of multiple local and global networks serving, so mapa-private man, public, business, academic, or any other, like government purposes, etc. Napakarami, kahit ano yan. So it allows for the exchange of data between more than 100 internet-linked countries worldwide. So this makes the internet an enormous, enormous carrier of various information, resources, and services. So some of these include text and multimedia data, are like email, online chat, voice over the internet, and then file transfer, and then file sharing, e-commerce, and then online gaming. Okay? So, yeah, marami kayong pwedeng gawin. Kahit ano actually, as long as ginagamit yung internet, that's already a network. Okay? So, continuation, another kind of network is a wireless network. So, from the word itself, wireless, so alam na alam nyo na yan. Meron nga lang tatlong standard, or apat actually. Okay? So, we have here the PAN, wherein ang gamit ng standard is yung Bluetooth, which is also wireless. You can even use Zigbee or NFC. And then, ito na yung pinaka-familiar. So, yung gamit nating standard for the, let's say, yung phone ko, connected sa Wi-Fi namin or dun sa router namin, ang standard na gamit neto is IEEE 802.11 o yung tinatawag natin Wi-Fi. And then yung mas malaki dyan is MAN or within a city. Okay? Ang gamit naman neto is 0.15. So instead of calling that Wi-Fi, ang tawag natin dito is WiMAX. Okay? And then yung mas malaki dyan, which is yung pinakamalaki, yung worldwide na, we call that WAN. Okay? So, yeah, pwedeng cellphone, etc. or kahit ano na pwedeng makakonect sa internet. Okay? So, wireless networks are those computer networks that use electromagnetic waves. So, ito yung gamit nila, specifically electromagnetic. Okay? Instead of wires in order to carry signals over the various parts of the network. So, wireless networks can be described as ito yung PAN, LAN, MAN, or WAN. Depende yan sa scope or sa laki. So because browsing the internet is considered a normal daily activity, wireless access points have become commonplace in the communications infrastructure today. Public internet connected places include libraries, airports, coffee shops, hotels, and specialized internet cafes. So thanks to web technology, the internet can now be accessed by every person with a laptop. Of course, kailangan mo ng smart device na capable sa Wi-Fi, like a tablet or smartphone. And then figure 4 shows the different categories of wireless network that are available, which is discuss na natin kanina. Okay. So any clarification so far?
None,
Clarification,
sir.
guys? Or question? Natulog na ba ulit kayo or kumakain na kayo? Makain na yata sila lahat. Hello? Yan pa ba kayo? Are you guys still there?
Yes, sir.
So again, pwede kayong kumain sa harap ng computer nyo or sa harap ng cellphone. Okay. Alright. So moving on is the cloud. Okay. So the cloud or the term cloud is used in many different ways. So I think familiar na rin kayo dito kung sakaling gumamit na kayo ng cloud. So marami kayong pwedeng gawin dito. So the cloud is not as much a type of network as it is a collection of data centers or groups of connected servers that are used to store and analyze data, provide access to online application, and provide backup services for personal and corporate use. So, ang main function ng cloud natin is, yun na nga, number one is mag-store ka ng data. And then second is, yung data na na-store mo is pwede mo ma-analyze or pwede mo ma-fetch. Okay? Wherein you can provide access to online application with the use of that data on that cloud. Okay? Or, pinaka-lasting na dapat mong gawin if you have a cloud is mag-backup ka. Corporate. So cloud services are provided by different organizations like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and so on and so forth. So napakaraming cloud providers na pwede mong i-avail. Okay? Next one is the edge. So the edge refers to the physical edge of a corporate network. So ito, very straightforward. Kapag sinabi nating edge, connected sa isang LAN, okay, wherein, let's say itong LAN connection na to is merong server. So lahat ng data na ginagawa mo is connected dun sa server niyan. Or yung pwede nating tawagin na edge server, okay, or edge network. So lahat ng data dadaan doon or pwede niyang, let's say, ma-modify or dito, ma-configure, okay? Or etc. kung ano man yung mga pwede niyang gawin. Okay? So, ang tawag natin dyan is edge network. So, ginagamit to ng mga malalaking company para, let's say, instead of storing that data into the cloud wherein magbabayad pa, pwedeng sa edge server nila. Okay? Or sa server mismo ng kumpanya. But of course, gagamit siya ng napakalaking storage like maybe I don't know, maybe 8 terabytes, 16 terabytes, or 100 terabytes. So, depende sa laki ng company. Okay? So, next one is fog computing. So, ito na yung mas malaking range ng fog. Okay? So, with the rising number of sensors used by the Internet of Things, there is often a need to store the sensor data securely and closer to where the data can be analyzed. So, itong first sentence na to, this one is talking about the edge computing. So this analyzed data can then be used quickly and effectively to update, modify processes within the organization. So still, ito within the organization. So still with the use of edge computing. So figure 6 shows an example of smart city and how sensor data is processed. Okay, so lahat yan connected sa isang server bago niya i-upload sa cloud. Wherein kapag na-upload na sa cloud, yun na yung tawag nating fog computing. Okay? So ito yung pinaka-main description ng fog computing. The fog is located at the edge of a business. So again, dadaan siya sa edge, pinaka-server ng local nyo, local area network. And then, uh, servers, yung edge server natin and computer programs allow the data to be pre-processed for immediate use. So, hindi na siya gagamit ng internet. Well, gagamit pa rin, pero sa server lang na to siya maghahanap kasi doon nakasave yung mga data. Okay? Then, the pre-processed data can be sent to the cloud for more in-depth computing if required. And then, let's say, kailangan pa ng another process sa mas malalim. Let's say, ibang company na yung magpa-process. Yun na yung time na ma-upload na siya sa cloud. Okay? Pero still, nakasave pa rin siya sa server natin wherein yung edge computing. Okay? Kaya lang nating natawag na fog computing kasi after niyang masave sa server, ina-upload niya na rin sa cloud server right away. Okay? So, yeah, once you have this one, meron akong ginawang short quiz, okay? Which I called it network terms. Okay? So, malalaman nyo mamaya kung ano yung mga terms na yon. So, from the word itself, network terms, napaka-obvious naman. Kapan, WAN, LAN, MAN, and so on and so forth. Yung mga ganong terminology lang naman. And so on, so, na pa ba? Or iba pa na connected sa network. So, check the canvas to answer this short quiz. So, kung naalala ko, 5 question lang to or 10 question. 5 to 10. Okay? So, moving on is your laboratory number 2. Okay? So, in this lab, you will use an internet connection and 3 route tracing utilities to examine the internet pathway to destination networks. So, ito yung medyo mahaba-haba. Kung yung laboratory 1 nyo can be done in or within 15 minutes. Itong laboratory number 2 can be done siguro minimum of 30 minutes kung mabilis. 30 minutes to 1 hour. Okay, so para magkaroon kayo ng idea, so pakita ko lang. So control and then left click and then magpapakita tong tong warning. Pero don't worry, safe naman to. So just click OK. And then since na-download ko na kasi siya kaya ganito nagpapakita, duplicate download link. So i-re-download ko lang. Ayan. So dina-download na ng IDM ko. And then punta natin. So yeah. So ito na siya, mapping the internet. Ito yung second laboratory nyo or laboratory number 2. Okay, so we have four objectives. So part 1 is test network connectivity using ping. So ito yung pinakamadali kasi ito yung built-in or naka-embed na sa operating system. And then pangalawa is trace a route to a remote server using Windows Tracer. Still, itong function na to is naka-embed sa Microsoft Windows. Okay, sa Mac, iba yata yung gamit nila. Or sa Linux, iba din. And then, part 3 is trace a route to remote server using web-based and software tools. So, itong part 3, gagamit na kayo ng web-based tool and then software tools. So, dalawa. Okay? And then, i-compare nyo siya gamit yung built-in na functionality ng CMD natin. Okay? And then, lastly is compare trace route results. I-compare nyo yung tatlo. Okay? So, iiwanan ko na to sa inyo, itong background na to. Okay? Just read that one. It talks about how to use tracer, how to use ping, and so on and so forth. And then, yeah, kakailanganin nyo pala tong visual root. Ito lang. Naalala ko, hindi ko to ginamit. Anyway, kung sakaling na-miss ko yung question na yun, so you can always download this one. This is the software that you're going to use. So, Yeah, ito yung link mismo ng visual root. So, nasa canvas nyo na rin to. Canvas nyo na ba? Wala pala, nasa feed. Yeah, nasa presentation ko lang. So, malalaman nyo to mamaya kapag na-upload ko na yung presentation. So, click nyo lang yon and then open nyo lang to and then click nyo lang ulit tong link na to wherein mare-redirect kayo dito sa website na to. Okay? Yan. Ito yung web-based and then yung isa is yung software-based. So, again, warning lang, make sure lang na i-download nyo yung Lite Edition. Hindi ko pa trinay yung full version pero for now, just follow this one. Just download the Lite Edition. Then you have here the scenario. So using an internet connection, you will use the route tracing utilities and examine the internet pathways destination, and so on and so forth. Okay, so iwanan ko na rin sa inyo yan. Dali. Sorry, dinadalian ko kasi 3 minutes na lang ulit. So meron kayong 4 parts. Okay, so part 1 is the ping. Okay, so ito yung sasagutin nyo. Okay, letter C. I-ping nyo yung www.cisco.com and then screenshot nyo lang or pwede nyo i-snipping tool and then i-paste nyo lang siya sa Microsoft Word. So, saan yung Microsoft Word na yon? Gumawa ko ng form mismo. Ito. Copy nyo lang tong link na to and then paste nyo lang sa website. And then, magpapakita ito. So, ginawa ko to mismo para may reference kayo kung anong sasagutan nyo sa laboratory number 2. So, kung papansin niyo, screenshots of your own using CMD part 1. So, gagamitin niyo dito from C to F, to CEF, is ping. So, ipiping niyo yung Cisco, paste niyo dito. Ipiping niyo siya 100 times, paste niyo rin dito. And then, ipiping niyo yung 4 na registry or tong regional internet registry nila. And then, screenshot nyo each of those result. Okay? And then, after nyong masagutan tong CEF ng part 1, we have questions here. So, all these things were run from how they're located in US. So, ibigay nyo lang yung comparison nyo or yung, ano bang tawag dito? O yung conclusion nyo. Kung ano yung pinagkakaiba nila with the use of, different continents like sa Africa, sa Australia, sa Europe, South America, and so on and so forth. Okay? And then for the part 2, so medyo similar siya pero with the use of tracer. So ito yung mas complete way in doing or in pinning. Kasi ito nag-jump shot from this server, yung pinaka-server mo talaga or yung pinaka-router mo and then to another router or to another server. Okay? And so on and so forth. And then, yan, sagutan nyo lang din yan. Okay? So dalawa lang ipipin nyo, or tatlo actually. So cisco.com, Freenik, and then Lacknik. Okay? And then sagutan nyo lang din to. Also this one. Kung ano yung lumabas sa hop number 7. And then part 3 is with the use of web-based and then software tools. So, gawin nyo rin yan. And then after nyo magawa lahat yung part 1 to part 3 is, yun, i-compare nyo lang yung tatlo. Okay, so sagutan nyo lang itong mga to. Ano yung closest path to Cisco using tracer and so on and so forth. Okay? And then, yeah, so you can use this form and then ito yung i-upload nyo sa Canvas. Okay, so hanggang dito na lang muna. I think 20 seconds na lang natitira. So, advance, goodbye na bago ulit mag-close. So, again, wait 5 to 7 minutes for our part 3.
Sige, sir.
Sige, bye-bye muna.
Also added a LiPo voltage.
Right, so let's continue now. So, ito yung kanina, which is yun nga yung laboratory number 2 nyo. After this, you will have your laboratory number 3 right away. Okay? So, in this laboratory, you will use packet tracer to create a simple network. So ito yung instruction. So kumpletong-kumpleto 'to. So kung yung laboratory number 2 abutin kayo ng 30 minutes to 1 hour, ito abutin kayo ng siguro 45 minutes, mas mahaba lang ng konti. 45 minutes to 1 hour and 30 minutes. So depende kung gaano kayo kabilis. So puwedeng 30 minutes kung sobrang bilis. Pero yun kung kinakapa pa lang, maybe an hour. Alright? So open lang natin 'to para makita nyo. So again, just control and then left click to download this link. Okay? And then, ayan. So na-download ko na kasi kaya existing pala yung nagpapakita. Pero ito yung instruction ng laboratory number 3. So as you can see right here, meron lang tayo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 components. Okay? And then ito yung mga sample or addressing table ng each of those components. And then yung objectives. So again, your first objective is build a simple network in the logical topology workspace. Ganito, parang ganito yung gagawin nyo. Okay? And then each of those will be configured. Okay? And then lastly, of course, you will test the connectivity between network devices. Okay? So here's the background or scenario. In this activity, you will build a simple network in Packet Tracer from scratch. Okay, so wala kayong i-import na PKT. So mag-create lang kayo ng new project or new file and then save the network as a Packet Tracer activity file. So dapat naka-save siya as a Packet Tracer activity or PKT. Okay? So yung first na instruction is yun na nga. So yun, launch the Packet Tracer. And then second is add network devices to the workspace. So ito, using the workbox, hanapin nyo lang dyan kung ano yung mga kailangan. Naka-indicate naman dito kung ano yung mga gagamitin. Ayan. And then, what else? So yun, each of those network will be configured. Okay, so kailangan nyo silang i-configure. So palitan nyo yung pangalan, yung display name. I don't know if you guys can see this one. Ayan. Display name. Magdadagdag kayo ng physical cabling between devices on the workspace. So gayahin nyo lang yung parang ganito. Ayan. What else? So nandito naman yung mga kailangan nyo gawitin like copper straight through, pinapakita naman dyan, and then connect nyo daw yung wireless router to cable modem and so on and so forth. Then once you're done with those connection, i-configure nyo na each of those devices. Okay? So let's say sa wireless, ito yung configuration na ilalagay nyo. Okay? And then click on the setup, blah, blah, blah. And then save nyo yung settings. And ito yung sa setup. Ito naman yung mga basic configuration na kailangan nyo gawin. And then, what else? Ano pa ba? And then also, you also need to configure the laptop. Ito naman yung configuration for the laptop. Okay? So, under na kayo sa laptop. Ito. And then, yan. So, nandito naman lahat ng mga dapat nyo gawin. And then, after nyo makonfigure yung laptop, i-configure nyo na rin yung PC. Okay? So, yung PC, after yung PC, i-configure nyo rin yung internet cloud. After nun, configure nyo rin yung cisco.com server. Okay? And then, ito yung mga basic o yung mga configuration na kailangan nyo i-follow. Okay? So, medyo mahaba-haba to na baka abutin ng 1 hour or 1 hour and 30 minutes. So, make sure lang na finalo nyo siya thorough na wherein wala dapat kayong na-miss para wala kayong maging problema kung sakali. Okay? Ito naman is configuring still the Cisco server, DNS sa aking services. And then, so mga configuration na to ng global settings. And then yung pinaka-last, actually yung pinaka-second to the last is verify the connectivity. And then once na okay sila, magpiping sila lahat. Okay? So kapag walang error or connected na sila lahat, save nyo lang siya. Okay, dapat yung form na yun is PKT. So, yeah, kapag na-save nyo na to, yun, ito na yung i-upload nyo dun sa Canvas. Okay, so ito na yung i-check ko kung tama ba yung configuration or yung ito, yung mga step na ginawa dito. Okay? And then, yeah, hanggang dun lang. Closing the packet tracer. So, hindi ko, of course, kung may katanungan kayo, sa susunod pa kung sakaling gagawin nyo na to. So, kung may question kayo, kung sakaling gagawin nyo na tong laboratory number 3, okay, so message nyo lang ako directly. E bali, nandito naman lahat ng instruction. All you have to do is follow the steps thoroughly, step by step. Dapat wala kayong mamiss para kompleto talaga. Okay? So, this is it for your laboratory number 3. So, medyo mahaba-haba siya. Okay? So, next one, before going to what is IoT, any question or clarification so far? Or concern?
Clear naman, sir, so far.
Alright. So, kung may ma-encounter kayong error dun sa mga laboratory, especially sa laboratory number 3, kasi yun yung medyo magulo minsan, lalo na pag may mali kayong configuration nilagay. Laboratory number 2, sobrang dali lang nito. Okay, as long as, ayun, alam niyo yung ginagawa niyo sa ping, tracer, and then yung software tool, and then yung virtual root na application. Okay? So, yeah. So, yeah. What is IoT? Okay? So, ito na yun. Talaga yung IoT. So, again, what is IoT? The Internet of Things, or the IoT, is the connection of millions of smart devices. Okay? So, once that smart devices is connected to this network, you already call that one IoT device, or Internet of Things devices. Okay? Or pwedeng kahit hindi smart devices, pwedeng kahit sensor lang. Okay? Kasi ito naman talagang kakailanganin natin eh. Actually, ito yung pinaka number 1. Okay, sensors that is connected to the internet. So kung papansin niyo para masabing, sorry for that one. So kung papansin niyo para masabing smart home ang isang bagay, kailangan may mga sensor siya. Like for example, yung mga basic things na papasok ka na sa bahay mo, yun, may sensor. Pagkaharap mo sa pintuan, mag-open na siya agad-agad. Or magpa-pop up na yung, let's say, I don't know, maybe password na kailangan mong i-type or paglalagyan ng password. So, depende kung ano yung mga ginawa mo. Or, let's say, pwede mo siyang kontrolin or i-open via smartphone. Wherein, of course, may sensor yon na, let's say, kapag na-detect niya or na-receive niya itong text, yun yung gagawin niya. Okay? And so on and so forth. So, these connected devices and sensors collect and share, sorry, wait lang. Yeah. Okay, so those connected devices and sensors collect and share data for use and evaluation by many organizations. So these organizations include businesses, cities, governments, hospitals, and individuals. So kahit sino pwedeng gumamit ng mga that kind of technology. Okay? So the IoT has been possible in part due to the advent of chip processors and wireless networks. So hindi ko naman kung chip pa to, pero para sa akin, para sa akin mahal pa rin. Lalo na yung mga sensor na talaga magaganda. Kasi yung mga sensor na nabibili naman sa, let's say, for Arduino or for Raspberry, let's say 500 below, pwede pa. Pero yung iba kasi sobrang mamahal na. Lalo na kapag gusto mo talaga ng super accurate na sensor. Okay. Talagang perfect. Almost perfect. Mahal. Abutin ka ng 10,000, 15,000. Yeah. Lalo na kapag pang ano siya, industrial na mga project. Okay? So previously, inanimate objects such as doorknobs, so yun na yung pinaka-basic, doorknobs, light bulbs, can now be equipped with an intelligent sensor that can collect and transfer data to a network. Okay, so yung mga basic lang about IoTs. Alright, so researchers estimate that over 3 million new devices are connected to the internet each month. So take note, each month to, laging merong 3 million new devices. Highlight ko na. Okay? So researchers also estimate that in the next 4 years, there are going to be over 30 billion connected devices worldwide. Sobrang dami. Like, population is only 7.82 billion, but our smart devices are around 30 billion. So perhaps a third of connected devices will be computers, smartphones, tablets, and then smart TVs. Okay? So pwedeng mostly nandito lang sa dalawang yan, computers or smartphones, or smartwatch. So the remaining two-thirds will be other kinds of things like, yun na nga, kung hindi man siya smart device, of course, the others will be sensors, actuators, and newly invented intelligent devices that can monitor, control, analyze, and optimize our world. Analyze, control. Device that, lagyan ko ng A. Okay. So some examples of intelligent connected sensors are, yun na nga, we have smart doorbells or smart gates, pa ba? Smart door, smart window. So napakadami. Okay? Garage doors, thermostats, sports wearables, pacemakers, traffic lights, parking spots, and many others. Napakarami. So kung ano man yung maisip nyo na pwedeng ma-detect ng isang sensor, so yun, pwede nyo siyang idagdag dito. So the limit of different objects that could become intelligent sensors is limited only by our imagination. So hanggat na-imagine natin, hanggat magawa natin yung device yun that can sense that thing, then yeah, kasama na siya doon sa two-thirds na yun. Okay? Alright. So, laboratory number 4. Madali na lang din to. Okay. So, imagine a new intelligent sensor. So, pakita ko lang sa inyo. Very cool naman to. Opinionated. Okay. So, all you have to do is imagine a device that are currently inanimate objects that could be useful if sensors were added to them. Okay, so we have 3 questions. So naalala ko, kung ginawa ko man to last day, I think 10 points each yung nilagay dito. So 10 points, 10 points, and then another 10 points. So a total of 30 points for this laboratory. So yeah, so describe the object that you selected. Okay, and then what kind of data would sensors in this object gather? And then how could the gathered data be useful and to whom would it be useful? So all you have to do is answer those 3 questions. Okay. So para magkaroon kayo ng idea, you might want to read this scenario or background. And then, of course, para mas maging clear. So think about your day in your home. So pwedeng sa bahay, sa school, sa office, or kahit saan, kung ano man yung maisip nyo na pwedeng lagyan ng sensor or pwedeng malagyan ng actuator or kahit ano man yan. Okay? So yeah, hanggang doon lang yung laboratory number 4. So you can do this one in 30 minutes, I guess, or 1 hour kung magbe-brainstorm talaga kayo. Okay, so any questions so far regarding with the lab number 4?
Answer.
Alright. So actually, dapat ang sagot talaga doon nan. So chine-check ko lang kung nandyan pa ba kayo. So laging si Mr. Inigo lang baka yung iba dyan. Mr. Kagiwa, Mr. Romero, Mr. Dancel, dyan ba kayo?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Carino, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Miss Rio, uy, mag-isa mo lang yata ang babae, Miss Rio Mr. Jairus, Mr. Dumagat, and then Mr. Tuaga.
Yes, sir.
So, kung tayo, check natin kung nandyan ba kayo. Hindi yung nakakonect lang kayo tapos mute yung mic, tapos mute yung video, and then Mobile Legends na or kung ano man yung lalaroin mo. Alright. So, I hope clear hanggang dito. Okay. It's good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So very good. All right. So that's it for your laboratory number 4. Okay. So moving on, many different organizations are benefiting from data collected, saved, and analyzed from sensors. So number 1 is business. Actually, ito yung pinaka-nakikinabang talaga. Business have more information about products that we sell and who is purchasing them. So they are now armed with this type of data. So if they know the data that they're getting, so they can streamline production and target remarketing and advertising to specific areas or audiences. So they can also promote creation of new business opportunities and marketing ideas. So like for example, in this country, sa Africa, in demand ang tobacco. Okay. So ano ba yung parang country na nagpo-purchase ng mga tabako? So nalaman na nila kasi nga with the use of internet, okay, or with the use of current technology, okay, or with the sensor. So in that way, mas mapag-aaralan nila. Okay? Mas makakapag-strategize sila kung ano yung mga dapat gawin, ano yung mga dapat hindi gawin, and so on and so forth. Okay? Next one is the retailers. So meron tayong businesses, of course, may mga retailers tayo dyan. So retailers are able to do more target marketing, okay? Reduce losses based on unsold products, okay? And can provide loyalty bonuses for preferred or frequent customers, as well as manage types of in-store products, okay? So one good example of this one is yung mga, yun, nasa Shopee, okay? So of course, meron namang company na gumagawa nun and then nagre-retail na lang sila into mga malalaking bagsakan. So, yan. In that way, alam nila kung ano yung mga dapat nilang gawin. Let's say, laging nasa search tong item na to. Siguro ito naman yung kunin kong item para ito yung ma-retail ko sa mga customer. Okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, or they can provide loyalty bonuses for preferred or frequent customers. Okay. Moving on is the manufacturing company. So of course, manufacturing saves money, improves efficiency, and improves productivity of manufacturing processes and operations. So in what way? Kasi nga may mga sensor na tayo. Like instead of a human will count it manually, so pwede yung sensor na lang mismo. And then instead of a human will, ano pa ba? I don't know kung ano man yung mga sensor na pwede nyo ilagay dun sa machine or sa company nun or dun sa manufacturer na yon, then yun, possible para lang makasave kayo ng pampasweldo, okay, sa mga employee. So, kumbaga, everything is now automatic. Ganun. So, manufacturers produce downtown by predicting maintenance requirements and improving scheduling of field service employees. Okay? And then lastly is the governments. Hindi pala, second to the last. So, ito yung pinaka-nakakatakot, okay, lalo na sa Amerika. Kasi nga, let's say, kung Apple user ka, yun, connected kasi yung Apple dun sa Amerika. So, pwede nilang hingin yung data o yung personal information mo from the Apple. Kasi nga, connected sila doon. Pero in Windows, I think hindi sila connected. So, may sarili silang or private server sila. Okay, hindi nila binebenta yung mga data natin. So, governments monitor environmental issues, target funding for social issues, and have informed control of power output. Okay? Like, for example, lagi na lang kulang yung pinoprovide na electricity in the city. So, in that way, magagawa nila ng paraan. Okay? Or social issues, like, ano ba mga social issues? Yeah, one good example of that one is, let's say, sa Facebook. Okay, lagi na lang merong ganito, ganyan. So, let's say, maraming krimen sa ganito, ganyan, lagi na lang ganito, ganyan. So, depende kung ano nangyari sa lugar na yon. So, pwede nilang gawa ng paraan. Okay, lagi maraming patayan. So, pwede sila magpadala ng maraming sundalo or mas maraming sundalo or higpitin nila yung security ng bayan na yon. Okay? And then cities, so very common naman na to. So it have the ability to control traffic patterns. So number one na yan pagdating sa city. At traffic patterns. Okay, so it is based on time of day or major events. So it can monitor and control garbage and recycling, monitor health and housing needs, and evaluate future transportation requirements. So yeah, that is one biggest thing that uh, we can control or we can do something about pagdating sa city is yung GPS. Okay? Yun yung sensor na pinaka ginagamit pagdating sa city. So, lilit ka dun sa shortest pathway or dun sa lesser yung traffic. And then, lastly, individuals can reap improved fitness and health benefits, better home and family security, and reduce costs for energy and heating systems. So they can enjoy more varied entertainment, limit the speed a teenage driver can reach, or even monitor the health of an elder family member at the wheel of their car. So, ang pinaka-helpful para sa ano pagdating sa smart devices or yung mga sensor is yung smartwatch. Lalo na sa may mga, say, tao may mga sakit sa puso. So, yung smartwatch natin can monitor our heart rate. So, let's say kapag over this heart rate na siya, which is not normal anymore. So, let's say, pwede nakaprogram yung watch niyan to call an ambulance or to call anyone or kung ano man yung dapat gawin. Okay? Para masagip yung matanda na yun or yung tao na yun na may sakit sa puso. Okay? And then, lastly, wait lang. Yeah, okay. So, ito na yung pinaka-last na i-discuss natin yan or yung gagawin nyo. Okay? So, laboratory number 5. So, in this activity, you brainstorm to determine if the advantages of collecting sensor data outweigh any disadvantages. So, pakita ko lang sa inyo kung paano nyo ito sasagutan. So yeah, so again, brainstorm the pros and cons of sensors. So ano ba yung mga advantages and disadvantages, okay? So all you need to do is answer those 3 questions. So describe some of the advantages, what type of data could sensors, blah, 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 and then what might data from your previous answer be used for. Okay, so ito, connected itong laboratory number 5 nyo sa laboratory number 4. So, dapat sagutin nyo muna yung laboratory number 4 bago itong 5 kasi ito, kailangan nyo to sa letter C. Okay? So, hanggang dito na lang muna. Okay? Hanggang dito na lang muna. Gawin nyo muna yung mga, yung quizzes or yung mga activity. And then yung lab 0 hanggang laboratory number 5. Though, ibibigay ko na tong buo sa inyo. Ko-continue na lang natin yung discussion next meeting. Okay, so hanggang slide 54 to. So meron pang 36 to 54. Alright, so hanggang doon na lang muna. So do you guys have a clarification or concern so far?
Not really.
None. How about the others? None, okay. Alright, so to those who doesn't have a question anymore, so you may leave now. So see you next meeting. So yung mga hindi pa nag-lunch dyan, so sorry, pare-pares naman tayo hindi pa nag-lunch. Ganon kasing oras eh. So 11:30 onwards. 3:30. Alright, so bye-bye. Upload ko na lang itong mga pre-recorded video later.
Yung activities are available na by later.
Available na yun. Naka-unpublish nga lang. Ipapublish ko na lang mamaya. Okay,
Sige, sir.
Okay.
Sige, sir. Salamat.
Sige, bye-bye. Alright, so it seems that most of you are here already. So let's now continue our discussion from last meeting. Right, so can you guys can see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, so this is where we've stopped last meeting, the laboratory number 5. And then here's the next one, okay? So how are IoT devices connected to the network? So actually, we only have three main uh, components, okay? So we have the controller, the sensors, and then the actuators. So to make it simple, the sensors and actuators work together, okay? They are the one responsible for getting or uh, accumulating or receiving a data, okay? And then it will be passed on to our controller, and then it is now up to the program of the controller on what are the things that it will do, okay? So as you can see, the controller and then the sensors and then the actuators is inside of the fog computing, okay? So again, fog computing is like edge computing wherein it will be sent to the local server for, let's say, quick decision making. Or if you have, say, a complicated data that you have gathered, so you may send that to the cloud for the or for much more in-depth computation. Okay, so just some basic definitions. So again, sensors are often work together with a device called an actuator. Okay, so this one or these actuators receive electrical input and transform the input into physical action. So as an example, if a sensor detects excess heat in a room, the sensor sends the temperature reading to the microcontroller. Okay. So the microcontroller can send the data to an actuator, which would then turn on the air conditioner. Okay, so that is just one example on how the sensor and then the actuator and then how the controller works with each other. Okay, so this one is just another example. Okay, so next one is exploring a smart home. So as you can see right here, we have here the application of a packet tracer, okay, which also came from Cisco or NetAcad. And then here's the definition on how to create this one, okay? So I will leave the reading part onto you guys. And then until this part, so yung iba naman dyan, yung specification, physical configuration, so more on introduction on the parts of the packet tracer. Okay? Pero mas maganda pa rin habang binabasa nyo to, I highly suggest while you guys are reading this one, let's say from the start up to the end, gawin nyo na rin. So, saan ba tong end devices na to? Nasaan ba tong end selection boxes na to? Nasaan ba tong mga home or mga smart devices natin? Okay? So, we have here the main category. And then below that, we have subcategory. So, marami pa yan. And then, ito na yung para pinaka-component of those subcategory. Okay? And then, this is where you put those components. Okay? So, skip ko lang to. Iiwanan ko na to sa inyo. And then after that, you're going to have a short quiz. Okay, so another short quiz for the advantage and disadvantages of IoT. So you may check the canvas for this one. I think na-publish ko na to, hindi ako nagkakamali. Masama ko yata to sa na-publish ko. Anyway, you can just
Meron na,
check the canvas for this one. Yes?
Meron na sir yung
Ito?
advantages and disadvantages. Yes sir.
Kasama
Kaka-check
ko
ko.
na. Sige, sa bagay, okay lang kahit nasama ko na to kasi in your own opinion pa rin naman natin. Okay, so after that, you're going or we're going to have your lab 6. Okay, so we have here the instruction and then the PKD. Okay, so pag inopen nyo to, ang magpapakita kaagad is ganito na. Okay, so pag na-open na yan, meron pang ibang instruction na mga babaguhin kayo for the configuration. Okay, so as an initial output, okay, ito yung matatapos yung result. Okay. So, kung papansin niyo dito, wala pa dito. Actually, meron na yung lawn sprinkler, pero wala pa yung isa. Ito, wala pa yung wind detector. Okay, so kung natapos niyo yung laboratory number 6, ganito yung pinaka-output na makikita ko. And then, dinagdagan ko lang. Okay. So, may additional requirements. After nyo matapos to, add 3 other types of IoT devices to the smart home wireless network. So, kapag sinabi kong 3 other types of IoT devices, so anything or any component that you can connect to the home gateway. Wherein, pwede rin dapat siyang ma-access ng, pwede dapat siyang ma-access ng tablet. Okay, kung papansinin nyo may tablet dito. So malalaman nyo mamaya kung sakaling gagawin nyo na to or bukas kung ano yung pwedeng ma-access ng tablet. Like for example, yung tablet na-access ko yung door. So pwede ko siyang i-open or i-close. So makikita nyo rin yung simple animation. Simple animation lang naman. And then pwede ko rin controlin yung garage door wherein I can open and close at one. I can turn on or off my coffee maker. Pwede kong iset sa tatlong light tong smart lamp ko, dimmer, and then lighter, para mga ganun yung mga options niya. Ano pa ba? Yung mga pwede mo makontrol. And then yung fan, ay pwede mo rin kontrolin. And then yung lawn sprinkler, and so on and so forth. Okay? So, magdagdag lang kayo ng another 3. Okay? So, you can choose any of the available components in the packet tracer. Okay? So, ito yung i-check ko. Kasi for sure, magagawa nyo to kasi nandun yung step by step. Kaya nandito sa instruction yung step by step kung paano gawin to at kung paano paganahin. Okay? So, yun lang naman for the laboratory number 6. Next one is the laboratory number 7. So, in this activity, you will add a home gateway. Okay? So, similar lang din siya dito. Okay? We have here your, DL100 home gateway. So, meron din siyang ganito, pero mag-i-start ka from the scratch. Okay? So, ang meron lang is tatlo actually. So, itong cluster, cable modem, and then home gateway. So, kung ito, given na yung iba, sa laboratory number 7, kayo maglalagay mismo ng mga ibang component. Okay? So, nandito rin yung instruction, and then nandito na yung, yung tatlong component na initially meron na. Okay? So, yan. Actually, ito yung expected output ng laboratory number 7 nyo. So, meron lang tatlo. Okay, tatlong given kapag inopen nyo tong PKT. And then, magdadagdag lang kayo ng another 3 ulit. Okay, which is a fan, and then a light, smart lamp, and then a smart door. Okay, so wala nang additional requirements dito sa laboratory number 7. So, gawin nyo lang kung ano yung nandun sa instruction. Ang i-check ko naman dito is yung configuration. Okay, configuration ng fan, configuration ng light, configuration ng door. Kung na-access ba siya ng tablet. Okay. So, next one is the future of networks. So, parang summary na lang to. So, networks are now connecting billions of sensors. Okay. So, through software, the data from these sensors can cause changes to physical environments without human intervention. Okay, so ito yung pinaka-main point kung bakit meron tayong sensor. Para hindi na tayo yung tumingin, hindi na tayo mag-observe, hindi na tayo mag-detect. Yung sensor na mismo, okay? And then, depende na kung ano yung makukuha nating data, and then yung computer na rin yung mag-judge, mag-quick decision making kung ano man yung gagawin niya sa nakuha niyang data. Okay? So, as was mentioned previously, all digital devices work based on computer programs and supply data. Okay? So, ito yung pinaka-purpose actually ng IoT kung bakit meron tayong mga sensors is yung artificial intelligence. So, this one implies that these devices are able to think on their own. Like, for example, kunyari, parang na sila nag-iisip kasi pagpadating yung tao, ay na-detect niya may tao doon, mag-open yung door. Okay? Pag na-detect niya mainit, i-open niya na yung air conditioner. So, if program appropriately. So ito lang naman yung pinaka-main requirements talaga ng mga AI or ng mga sensors natin. Okay? Kailangan nilang ma-program para sa field or para sa situation na yan. Okay? Smart devices are able to evaluate data that is provided to them and modify processes or settings immediately. Okay, so agad-agad. So good thing meron na tayong 6G paparating na. Actually, 5G for now is planned enough para sa mga ganitong technology. Pero sa 6G hindi natin alam, baka may mas maganda pang technology na magawa. Hindi lang mga sensors, hindi lang mga live feeds. Baka pwede mo nang kontrolin yung sarili mo. Okay, gamit lang or kontrolin yung robot gamit lang with the blink of an eye. Okay, so sobrang bilis na. And then malalaman niya na yung ganito ganyan. may sakit ka pala, tapos ganyan. So, hindi natin alam. Maraming possibilities na pwede mangyari. Okay? So, hindi ko rin alam. Hinuhulaan ko lang actually yung mga hindi pa nangyayari ngayon na pwedeng mangyari sa future. So, if they are provided with sufficient data, they can learn and modify their own code based on the new parameters. Okay? So what comes next? We know that software can be written to let data modify parameters within code for changing temperature setting in your home or the speed with which your teenager can drive the family car. So why could we not provide software with rules, guidelines, or intent so that could modify the network, infrastructure networks, or security features within a network? So lahat ng yan, itong mga nabanggit ko kanina, itong mga rules, mga guidelines, intent, blah, 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 actually possible na to. Okay? Ginagawa pa nga lang ngayon. So we call that one intent-based networking. Okay? So what is intent-based networking? So we have here some few examples. So the business may define that a contract employee is given access to only a specific set of data and applications. So this is the intent. So in reality, ito yung intent. Okay? In an intent-based networking system or IBN, all the network devices will be automatically configured to fulfill this requirement across the network. So no matter where the employee is connected, VLAN, mapa-VLAN man, subnet, ECL, and all other details will be automatically defined and configured following best practices. So actually, itong intent-based networking na to is like a standard in everything. Na wala na tayong mga random configurations sa mga, let's say, sa sensor na ito, dapat ito lang. Para maiwasan yung complication. Kasi kapag wala tayong standard, ang mangyayari niyan is risky. Like for example, ito is safe na for carless or ano man tawag dito? Yung automatic driver. So wala nang driver. So meron ng algorithm gumagana na, may program na para dyan. And then yung ibang company gumawa na naman, okay, ng another program. Which is, let's say, pwedeng mas maganda, pwedeng mas pangit. Yun nga lang, ang risky doon is, yun, wala tayong standard. So pwedeng iba yung way of thinking ng program na to or ng technology na to sa technology na to, which is the same lang naman sila dapat ng purpose. So ang intent nito or ang idea ng intent-based networking is lahat-lahat ng configurations will be set to best practices. Okay, actually hindi naman sa parang dapat magkakaiba or hindi naman dapat talagang ganon. Ang point lang nito is magkakaparehas in the best way. Okay, na kung may bagong feature itong program na to or itong company na to, dapat i-share nila dito para magkaroon tayo ng standard or ng singularity. So the intent has to be defined once in a central management. Yan. So one central management console na lang sila, and then the network will continuously assure it even if there are changes in the network. Okay. So as a summary, the world is quickly being covered. Nga pala, bago pala sa summary, yung in-upload ko na module, which is this one, may nabago lang, okay? May nadagdag. Itong expected output at saka tong initial expected output din dito sa laboratory number 6. And then, ito rin, dinagdag ko to, additional requirements. Okay? So, i-re-upload ko na lang to mamaya sa Facebook group natin or sa page natin para yun, para updated din yung nandyan sa inyo. Kasi kung yung old yung dinownload nyo, hindi nakasama to. Okay, so dapat isama nyo to. Okay? Okay, let's go now to the summary. So the world is quickly being covered with networks which allow digital devices to interconnect, and as digital networks continue to grow around the world, parang may kulang. Okay. So i-check ko ulit to. I think may nabura ako dito. Interconnect and so double check ko to. So digital networks continue to grow around the world, and as the economic benefits of digitization continue to grow, we are seeing a digital transformation. So what is this digital transformation? So it is the application of digital technology to provide the stage for business and industry to innovate. Okay? So again, about sensors, and then it can collect, it can transmit, wherein the generated data can be stored and analyzed at a later date, or it can be analyzed and used immediately. Okay, so depende. So, isa lang yung tip na pinakamabibigay ko. Meron tayong server wherein sa fog computing or sa edge computing, that is an immediate decision, okay, or immediate analysis. Kapag later date, ito yung ina-upload pa sa mga cloud. Okay. So sensors can be in the home, on traffic lights, in farm fields, and on our bodies. So the analyzed data is used by governments, cities, business, actually kahit sino. Okay. But mostly governments for sure. Kasi of course sila yung may pondo or nang bibigay ng pondo para sa mga research natin dito sa innovation when it comes to technology. And individuals to affect changes such as monitoring the environment, forecasting population growth, controlling waste management, or securing a home. Okay? So, continuation lang para dun sa mga, many types of networks. So, we have PAN, LAN, WAN, wireless fidelity, cellular, and then so on and so forth. Okay? So, a sensor typically connects to a controller using a wireless connection. So, controller collects data from sensors and send the data for storage or analysis. So, controllers may have the ability to make immediate decisions, or they may work together with a device called an actuator. So, actuators take electrical input and transform the input into physical action. So networks are now connecting billions of sensors and have the ability to make changes to physical environment without human intervention. Okay, which is yung AI nga natin, nag-gather siya ng data if they are programmed appropriately. So they can analyze it, modify, and then learn or at iba pa. Okay, na pwede niyang gawin. Okay, if and only if they are programmed appropriately. Okay, so hanggang dun lang naman yung module 1 natin. So do you guys have a question so far?
No, sir.
Alright, so additional lang, again, is yung 5, 6, and 7. And then sa 6, meron ako dinagdag na add additional 3 components. Okay? And then one more thing nga pala, para mas mapabilis tayo, lahat ng to, okay, itong presentation na to, okay, is a summary or actually eksaktong-eksakto, pero may tinanggal akong iba. May mga tinanggal din akong konti. Okay, nasa tingin ko is hindi ganun ka-importante. Lahat to is nasa NetAcad. Okay, so I suggest na i-enroll nyo to dun sa NetAcad kasi nandun din to mga to. Okay, so kung tapos na kayo dito, so pwede na kayo mag-jump dun sa chapter 2. Okay, so sa NetAcad, we only have 4 chapters. Yata, I think, or 5 chapters pa. So, i-enroll nyo, and then i-take nyo na yung mga kaya nyong i-take hanggat hindi pa, let's say, tapos ka na sa chapter 1. So, i-take mo na yung chapter 2 kagad-agad para advance na kung sakali. Okay? So, yung mga discussion, of course, dito pa rin via Zoom, and then mga concern nyo dito pa rin. So, kung may concern kayo, clarification. So, mas maganda kung Zoom para mas mabilis, and then meron din yung iba para mas mapag-usapan nating lahat. And then, ano pa ba? Of course, yung mga quizzes, like yung mga ginagawa nyo doon ngayon sa NetAcad, kung sakali man na gagawin nyo doon, isasubmit nyo na lang sa Canvas. Okay? So, doon ko na lang sila i-check. So, discussion sa NetAcad, and then dito sa via Zoom, and then yung mga pagsasendan is sa Canvas. Okay?
Sir, hindi na ba kailangan ng mga code?
Code ng ano?
Pag mag-enroll sa NetAcad, sir. Sa subject ganun.
Wala namang code doon.
Wala namang ganun.
Wala.
Kasi
So,
parang
free,
ganun. Sige,
ano?
sir.
Free naman siya. Free naman. Free to enroll naman siya.
Pwede yung account natin nun. Yun na lang.
Pwede yung account nyo dati, yung gamit yung account dati, kung may account tayo, mas maganda. Yun na yung gamitin nyo para i-enroll yung subject dun sa NetAcad.
Okay, sir. Okay po.
Alright. So, kung may queries kayo or clarification, so, tanong nyo na ngayon. I think meron pa tayong 10 minutes. Yeah, I think 10 minutes. Wala.
Wala pa naman, sir.
Alright. So, kung may question kayo, you can message me anytime to my Facebook account. Okay? So, yung mga wala ng question, so pwede na kayong mag-leave para makakain na rin. It's exactly 12 o'clock. Okay? So, yung natitira yung 4 hours, actually 3:30 to 6:30, or yung natitira yung oras after ng lunch, so I suggest gawin nyo na yun kasi marami-rami yan. Lab 1 to lab 7. Okay?
Sige, sir.
Yes, sir.
Alright, so goodbye.
Bye, sir.
So, we'll stop this one now.
Salamat, sir.
Goodbye. Happy lunch.